Welcome to your measurement unit based on perimeter. Remember to pause the video when you've been asked to and copy down all your learning goals and your vocabulary. The learning goal for this unit is that you will understand that the perimeter of any shape can be found by measuring the length of the boundary. Pause the video now and copy this into your workbook. The following is a list of words that you'll encounter as you progress through the unit. Please make sure that you write each word into your theory book that is followed by a definition. Pause the video now and complete this. The units of measure that you'll be looking at throughout this unit are millimetres, centimetres, metres and kilometres. Now these units of measure are used to measure length. Length is one-dimensional. It's used to measure how long something is, such as a boundary, a fence line, and in this case, I'm going to ask you to refer to your theory sheet now, and you'll see that the table at the top of this slide is the same as the one that's at the top of your theory sheet. If you look closely, you'll see that it has millimetres, centimetres, metres and kilometres. If you have a look at the top, you'll see that when we go from millimetres to centimetres, we divide by 10. We go from centimetres to metres, we divide by 100. We go from metres to kilometres, we divide by 1000. So, in short, what you would say is that when converting to a larger unit, you would divide. So in retrospect, if you look, when we're going from kilometres back to metres, back to centimetres and back to millimetres, you'll see that we multiply. It's easy to remember what to multiply or divide by because it's how many millimetres are in a centimetre? There are 10. How many centimetres in a metre? There are 100. And how many metres in a kilometre or a kilometre? There are 1000. Please fill out this part of your theory sheet now. Okay, so by the time you've gotten to this stage, you should have already filled out millimetres, centimetres, metres and kilometres. When converting to a larger unit, divide. When converting to a smaller unit, multiply. So this example is asking us to complete the following metric length conversions. If you look at the instructions, it says look at the conversion table. To convert metres to centimetres, we need to multiply by 100. So move the decimal places 2 points to the right. Let's have a look. We have metres to centimetres. So we're going from a big metric unit to a small. So if we have a look here and we look at metres and we're going to centimetres, the chart tells us that we need to multiply it by 100. So we'll go 1.027 multiplied by 100. You'll see that this has two zeros, so it tells us that we need to move the decimal places 2 points to the right. Because we're multiplying, this number's going to get bigger. 1, 2. So that way we know it's become 102.7 centimetres. Again, with the next one, we're going from a big unit of measure to a small unit of measure. We find kilometres, and we're going to go from here to here. We're going to multiply again. So we're going to go 0.0034. We know we're going to multiply. So if we go back to our kilometres, down to our metres, there's 1,000 metres in a kilometre. So we are going to multiply by 1,000. That equals, remember, 3 zeros, 3 jumps. Our number is going to get bigger. So that's equal to 3.4 metres. Here we've got 76,500 metres equals how many kilometres? 76,500. Now we're going from metres to kilometres. Here is our metres and we're going up to kilometres. This is telling me that I need to divide. So I can say divide by 1,000. Now because we're dividing, when we multiplied, we did our jumps to the right. When we are dividing, we do jumps to the left. 3 zeros, 1, 2, 3, and our decimal place comes there. 76.5 kilometres because there are 1,000 metres in every kilometre. So we're seeing how many times does 1,000 go into there, and that'll give us a rounded off kilometres. Here we have metres to millimetres. So if we go 3.069 is equal to, or sorry, because we're going from big to small, big, and we're going to small, we need to multiply by 100 and multiply by 10. So if we're multiplying by these two numbers, we're going to go times 1,000, because 10 times 100 times 10, or 10 times 100, we know we have to multiply that to see how many millimetres are in a metre. So we've got 3 zeros, and we're going to go 1, 2, 3 jumps to the right. So that equals 3,069 millimetres. So remember, when we're dividing, our decimal place jumps to the left. When we are multiplying, our decimal place jumps to the right. Okay, so now it's your turn. Please make sure that you've got a calculator. Pause the video in a moment, and I would like you to copy all of these in. Show working as per your theory sheet, please. Pause the video now. If you've got any of these answers wrong, can you please go back to the examples and have another look? If you're still having trouble, remember, come and speak to me as soon as you can. Now that you're an expert at converting units, it's time to move on to perimeter. Now remember, perimeter is the distance around the outside of the shape. I guess you could think of it as like the fence around a house. It's the boundary, and we're only looking at the length. So pause the video now and make note of this information. Write it anywhere in your theory book, please. Also draw the diagram. Pause the video now. As perimeter deals with length, we're only going to be using millimetres, centimetres, metres and kilometres. Ignore any line that's inside the boundary. The most important information that you need to remember when looking at perimeter is that you need to make sure that all the measurements are in the same unit. For example, make sure that all the measurements are in millimetres, and if not, make sure you convert them to the same unit. Pause the video now and make special note of this. Make sure all measurements are in the same unit. Pause the video now, please. So, if you have a look at this section, it says the something of a shape is the total distance around the shape. So there you will write perimeter. The perimeter of a shape is the total distance around the shape. To find the perimeter of a shape, identify the something of each side. The length of each side. Ensure all measurements are in the same units. And all that means is all in millimetres, centimetres, or kilometres, and obviously metres as well. Sometimes you'll get a measurement where one will be done in millimetres and the other side will be done in centimetres. You'll need to change them all or convert them all to the same unit. So all to centimetres, all to metres, all to kilometres or metres. Something all sides together and include something with your answer. So we know that when we are doing perimeter, you need to add all the side lengths together and include your units of measure. So all that's asking you to do is, once you've added all the sides together, you need to state whether it's in millimetres, in centimetres, in metres or kilometres. If we have a look at this one here, you'll see that this shape has these symbols. All it's saying is that where the two are here and here, you have 21 millimetres, and this one to here is telling you that that one is 15 millimetres, the same as there. We can see that they are all in millimetres, so we don't have to worry about that. All we do now is we can say that we have 15 plus 15 plus 21 plus 21 equals. So if we say 15 plus 15 is 30, plus 21 is 51, plus another 21 is 72, we can say equals 72 millimeters. So if we were to go from here to here to here to here to here, it would be 72 millimeters. This one is an irregular shape, which means that it is slightly different and you've only been given certain measurements. So it's up to you to work out what the other measurements are. So from here to here is going to be 45 millimeters. We've been given that measurement. We've been given that measurement, but we need to work out what that measurement is. So we know from there to there is 15. From there to there is another 15, so that's 30 millimeters. So we're trying to work out what's from there to there. The only way to do that is to look at this length and subtract it. 45 take away 30, this will give us 15 millimeters. So this side here is 15 millimeters. Again, we've been given this length to this length, which is 40 millimeters. So from here to here, we don't have an answer. From here to here is 11, and from here to here is 18. So 18 plus 11 is 29, and what is missing? 11 millimeters. What we need to do now is to make sure that we add up all of those sides. Make sure that the given measurements are all in the same units. We know that that's happened. And we need to determine the unknown sides, which we've done. So we know that this one was 11 millimeters and this one was 15 millimeters. We need to add all the measurements up, and what we do there is we just go 18, check it, 45, check it, 40, check it, 15, check it, 11, 15, 11, oh, running out of room, and last one, plus 15. I'm not sure about you, but I don't think I can do that in my head and make sure that it's accurate. I'm going to go 18 plus 45 plus 40 plus 15 plus 11 plus 15 plus 11 plus 15 equals 170. So I'm going to say that 170 millimeters. I'm just going to double check. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 measurements. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I've included that. Just double check on my calculator. Make sure I've included that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Go all the way across. That's 6, 7, and 8. Theta is the degrees you've been given there, plus 2 pi r. So because this is your radius here, because it only goes halfway around the circle, that will give you the length of that. Then you have to add in this side and this side. So it's plus 2r. So that's a bit of a tricky one to remember, and it just takes a little bit of practice. Knowing that this will give you this section, and this will give you that length plus that length. And that will give you, if you walked from here to there, all the way around and down there, that will give you your... Using the formulas you've just been given, please try the next examples. Remember, what you need to do is pause the video, draw the diagram, attempt the working. If you have trouble, continue on to the next slide, which will give you the formula. Please attempt this before going on to the next slide. Pause the video now. Now the formula you should be using is circumference is equal to pi d. Remember, diameter goes from one side of the circle to the other. The diameter is equal to 13.5 millimeters. In your calculator, you will type pi times 13.5 equals. The answer you should have come up with is 42.41 millimeters. If you didn't get this answer, please see me. Draw the diagram, add in all the measurements, and attempt the question before moving on. Pause the video now, please. At this stage, you should have identified that this is an irregular shape. So please remember, all you need to do is add all the sides together. Pause the video now and attempt this question. The answer that you should have gotten would equal perimeter is equal to 84.4 centimeters. This next shape is a little trickier. This is called a sector, kind of like a slice of pizza or a slice of cake. So remember, this is the harder formula, but don't be scared by it, have a go. Remembering that theta is the identified angle and your radius is 12. Try substituting into the correct formula and have a go. Pause the video now, draw the diagram into your book, and remember to do the formula and substitute. Pause the video now, please. I'm hoping that you tried this question before you skip to this slide. So the formula is theta degrees over 360 degrees multiplied by 2 pi r plus 2r. Theta in this case is 41 degrees and the radius is 12 centimeters. Try substituting into the formula and pressing equals and see if you can get the same answer that I did. Pause the video now, please. So how did you go with that one? Did you get perimeter is equal to 32.59 centimeters? If you got 0.58 centimeters, it just means you haven't rounded correctly. Perhaps that's something we need to practice. If you didn't get anywhere near that, perhaps you need to see me. One. A rectangular billboard advertising the Gold Coast has a perimeter of 16 metres. Calculate its width if the length is 4.5 metres. So we know it's a rectangle. We know it has a perimeter of 16 metres and it has a length of 4.5 metres. So what they're asking you to do is they're asking you how wide is it. So let's draw our diagram. It's 4.5 metres long and we don't know how wide it is. So what we're going to do is we're going to write the formula. Perimeter is equal to 2 times length plus W. We're going to substitute in. We know that P is equal to 16 metres. L is equal to 4.5 metres. And the width is equal to X because we don't know what it is. Let's substitute it in. So 16 is equal to 2 times 4.5 plus X. Remember, we need to multiply out our brackets. So 16 is equal to 2 times 4.5 is 9 plus 2 times X is 2X. All I'm doing is just multiplying my brackets or expanding my brackets out. Now, this is stepping it out for you. I need to get X by itself. Remember, when you're trying to get a variable by itself, you always work on your addition and your subtraction, then your multiplication and your division. So if I take away 9 from that side and take away 9 from that side, 9 take away 9 is equal to 0, so we can get rid of them. 16 take away 9 is 7 equals 2x. Still need to get x by itself. So the 7 is equal to 2 times x. The opposite of times is divide. 2 divided by 2 is 1. So 7 divided by 2 is 3.5 is equal to x, because 1 times x is x. So we can have a look there and say, therefore, the width of the billboard is 3.5 meters. Now it's pretty easy to check that. If you substitute 3.5 into there, substitute it back into your formula and see if you get the answer 16.